to this next episode of Prep with Paps. So what we're going to do today is do a quick whistle-stop tour of how to answer a 12-mark question. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a go at answering the 12-mark question using Buddhism, because I know for some of you that's what you would prefer to focus on. Before we begin, what I'd like to remind you is of the structure that we've been practicing and learning how to do. So when answering a 12-mark, what we need to make sure is that we're showing the examiner the reasons why people agree with the quote that we're being given, but also why people disagree. But we need to show that in each paragraph. It's not enough to just give one paragraph for and one against, because we want to maximise those marks to make sure we get as many marks as we can for what we're writing. So as you can see here on the screen, I've written out really the basic formula for what each paragraph should look like. So for paragraph 1, we need to start with an argument that agrees with the quote, and then afterwards, using something, a connective like however, we're then going to put a reason why people would disagree with the 4 that you have given. Paragraph 2 is exactly the same. Now what we need to make sure we are doing within that is getting in our PEE. So our point, our explain and our example, because that is going to help deepen those answers that we give. Finally, we're going to end on a conclusion, and that conclusion is going to explain to the examiner, after everything that we've looked at, this is what we think. So what I've done is I've pre-written out an answer, and we're going to go through it and just highlight what we've got. So this is just paragraph 1, okay? If you are not writing a paragraph around about this length, you're not doing enough, particularly if we want to maximise those higher marks. So what we need to know is we need to have a for argument and an against argument. Now what I've said to you in previous videos is always use the quote to help you start. So this quote is telling us that the 4 Noble Truths are the most important teaching for Buddhists. It's not just saying it's important, it's saying the most important, so nothing else is as important. So what I've done is I've started using exactly the words out of that quote. The 4 Noble Truths are the most important teaching for Buddhists because the examiner knows straight away that I'm answering that question. So I put, the Buddha discovered them while he was meditating, and they are the basis of Buddhism. That's my point. They teach that there is dukkha, what causes dukkha, and the cure for dukkha. There's my bit more of an explain, and really a bit of an example, because we're talking there about what I know is in the 4 Noble Truths. These are really important, so I'm linking back to the quote, to Buddhists, as they are fundamental to their beliefs. So what we've got here, this whole bit here, lost where I am. This whole bit here is our for argument. Now, what I've then done, you can see here, I've given a very simple however. That tells anybody reading this that I'm about to go into a different argument. So I put however. It can be argued that the 4 Noble Truths are not the most important teachings, because understanding and gaining good karma for a better rebirth is just as important. So again, I've got that back in there to show I'm answering the question. Now what I've done this time is I've found a little quote that I can put in. I've put, the Buddha said. Now we must say where our quote is coming from, okay? This is a quote from the Buddha, so I'm saying that is where it's from and that's what I know. So the Buddha said, the wise do not grieve, having realised the nature of the world. Now what I need to do is explain the relevance of my quote to what is being said. So I've said, this is saying that rebirth happens to all, so there is no need to be sad, meaning karma and rebirth are really important to all Buddhists. Now, I'm not saying it's more important, but what I am saying is it is important. So, if we take my little thing down to there, in a way, it's against in the sense that I'm saying it's not the most important. Now, what I've then said is, therefore, the 4 Noble Truths are not the most important. So that's my little link. I've gone back and said, right, this is what I finally think. So what this has given us is the idea of how we get in a for and an against and what it means. Have a go yourself, see how you get on.